Hi, this is Michelle Vasquez with True Love Relationship Coaching. And I'm thinking about an expression I've heard often, which is if you don't if you fail to plan, then you plan to fail. I'm thinking that that could be something very true in relationships too, because sometimes we just wish that we could do things differently when we start to feel uncomfortable and we feel a conflict coming on. And usually these conflicts are about the same things over and over again. You know what I'm talking about. If you're in a relationship, these conflicts go on over and over and over, and you feel yourself thinking, I've said this 1,000 times, why is it still the same? Well, what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. So people ask me a lot of times, so what do you do when you go into that conflict and you start doing the same thing? There's impulsive behavior. I can't help it. Things just come out. The truth is that because you're on autopilot and because you're in the fight or flight lizard brain, it's going to keep on coming up, and doing it the same way is very common. But if you start to plan, what am I going to do differently this time? And oh, it's so much more wonderful when you're doing it together with your spouse. You're planning together, and maybe you have a relationship coach that is helping you mediate. So your relationship coach stops you when you start to spiral in that conflict and says, hold on, let's look at this pattern before it starts to get out of control. Then you're more likely to do something different. So what I'm going to tell you is that if you've ever been to therapy, and granted I am a therapist, I've been a rather proactive therapist, rather than someone who just sits back and listens and says, tell me more. So what did you think about that? I'm pretty proactive, and I give a lot of intervention. And that's why I love relationship coaching, because it allows me the freedom to really help you to create solutions. But if you've been with a therapist that just listens and doesn't give you much of an intervention, you may feel frustrated. So what you need to do with the insight that you may be gaining from therapy is create a plan of action. Okay, I've got some great insight and I'm determined to do something different, but I need a plan of action if I want to be successful. That's my formula, by the way. Insight plus determination plus action equals success. So remember, if you want to have a plan and you want to make that plan work, then create it. Because fail to plan, you plan to fail. Not you. You want to do something different? Great. Let's have a talk, and I can tell you all about how I can be helpful to you as a relationship coach, either as a couple or either individually. I work both ways. This has been Michelle Vasquez with True Love Relationship Coaching.